Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a first look at the Christmas Day NBA slate on Draftkings and Yahoo. Every year, in the NBA, we always have a 5-game slate. We have the first game of the day starts at 12 o'clock, and then we have games on all day. They're one after the other. It's just kind of the thing the NBA does every single year. The Christmas Day NBA slate is always one of the most fun slates of the year. It's a fun slate to sweat because you get to watch each game after the other. It's kind of like the Thanksgiving Day NFL slate. I love the Christmas Day slate. I always look forward to it. We always have big prizes for these slates, and DraftKings run a millionaire maker. Yahoo's got some big tournaments that they're putting out as well. So as always, guys, we're going to go game by game. We're going to talk through each game on this 5-game slate. Now, I do want to say that I am recording this video on Thursday night. So I'm recording this video pretty early, like 2 days before the slate starts, but I'm going to be busy with family all day on Christmas Eve. I'm going to be busy with family all day Christmas Day. So I really wasn't going to have any time to make the video, Friday or Saturday. So I did want to go ahead and get it up Thursday night. So we'll kind of talk through my first looks. Now, there is so much in the air right now. So many guys are questionable. There's guys that are out for health and safety protocols that we don't know if they're going to be able to play or not. I'm going to try and do my best and kind of talk through everything, but, we're going to have to pay attention to some updates. We're going to have to watch the injury report Fridays and, Saturday morning as well. As always, I do provide more updated content on Patreon. As we do go through each game, we'll build out an early core, but if you really want my full updated core plays after we get injury news and, after we get confirmation on if some guys are out or not, I do provide updated core plays, and I will have my core plays posted on Christmas Day morning for this slate. So if you want to check those out, that's all available on Patreon, link down below in the description. All of my updated DFS content is posted there. And I also give out some of my favorite picks each day on Prize Picks. If you're new to the channel here and you have not checked out Prize Picks yet, go sign up over on Prize Picks. Use code NOAH when you sign up, and they will match your first deposit up to $100. Now, Prize Picks is running a big promo for the Christmas Day NBA games. I don't know yet if I can announce it because they haven't officially announced it yet, but keep an eye on the NBA board Christmas Eve and on Christmas Day. Prize Picks is going to be running some cool promos. They're basically going to be giving you free entries, or not free entries, but they're going to be giving you free picks. So basically I can't say exactly what they're going to do, but you can kind of get the gist of what's going to happen. They're going to give you some major discounts on players, and it'll basically be like a free pick. So definitely check Prize Picks out, especially on Christmas Eve and on Christmas Day, to check out these promos they're running, for the Christmas Day NBA games. They haven't been posted yet, but they'll probably get those posted, sometime on Friday. Maybe, they'll have more stuff posted on Christmas Day as well. But if you want to make some picks for these NBA games, we even have some NFL games on Christmas Day as well. You can mix and match sports. You can win up to 10 extra money on Prize Picks. Again, if you're new to the channel, you want to check them out, sign up, use code NOAH, and they'll match your first deposit up to $100. And again, if you want some of my favorite picks each day on Prize Picks, along with the entries that I am playing myself, I give those all out on Patreon. That's linked down below in the description if you want to check that out as well. But yeah, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the Christmas Day NBA slate. We're going to start off with the first game, and then we're just going to go through each game. First game, Hawks, Knicks, and then, the late night game, Mavericks and Jazz. So we'll start off with the Hawks and Knicks game, and this is one, especially on the Atlanta side, that we're really going to have to watch the injury report here. So again, I'm recording this video on Thursday night. As of now, Trae Young, Clint Capella, Kevin Huerter, Danilo Gallinari, and Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot, Lou Williams as well, are all still in health and safety protocols. We don't know if they're going to be able to play for this Christmas Day game. I don't think they probably will because, I think Trae was put in health and safety protocols recently, and I'm pretty sure you have to spend like a minimum. Like once you're placed in health and safety protocols, you're out for like a minimum of 7 days. So I'm expecting all these guys that are out to still be out Christmas Day. If they come back and they play, then that's going to really change some things because that's obviously going to make, John Collins and the rest of these Atlanta guys not nearly as appealing. But I'm expecting everyone that's out to remain out. But then we have to talk about Cam Reddish and DeLon Wright. So Cam Reddish and DeLon Wright are both healthy right now, but they got injured in Thursday's game. Cam Reddish injured his ankle and did not return, and then DeLon Wright had to get helped off the court. He had an ankle injury as well, and he did not return to Thursday's game against the Sixers. So there's some possibility that Cam Reddish and DeLon Wright could both be out for the Hawks on Christmas Day. We know they've really been benefiting without Trae and without Capella and without Kevin Huerter. We've seen DeLon Wright play big minutes. We've seen Cam Reddish play big minutes as well. If these guys play and everyone that's out is still out, I think Reddish and Wright look like pretty decent options. I think John Collins should continue to get a lot of usage, should continue to dominate, should play a ton of minutes as well. He's been really good these few games without Trae. He should get a lot of minutes without Capella too. Like they've been playing John Collins almost 40 minutes a night. He did get into some foul trouble on Thursday, but he probably would have played like 38, 40 minutes in that game had he not been in foul trouble. So I think John Collins looks really good, assuming everyone remains out. And then I do want to talk about Bogdan. So Bogdan's only 4,700. I think there's a good possibility that Bogdan moves into the starting lineup today. Bogdan played 22 minutes in his first game back from injury. He was clearly on a minutes limit. And then the game after that on Thursday, he did get his minutes bumped up, played 27 and a half minutes. I don't know if they wanted to play Bogdan that much. I think they just kind of had to because Reddish got hurt and DeLon Wright got hurt. But given that he played almost 28 minutes, that kind of makes me assume that Bogdan's no longer on a minutes limit. And if he's no longer on a minutes limit, he should be in the starting lineup with Trey out, with Kevin Huerter out. Bogdan is one of their better players right now that's available still. And obviously, if Cam Reddish or DeLon Wright get ruled out, that's just going to look even better for Bogdan. So I really like Bogdan on the slate. $14 on Yahoo. He is really cheap over there, and he's pretty cheap on Draftkings as well at 4,700. I'm expecting there to be no minutes limit for him, which I think does make him one of the better value plays on the slate. And obviously, he is going to look a lot better if one of or both of Cam Reddish and DeLon Wright, can't give it a go on Saturday. And then that's probably it from Atlanta. I do want to talk about Okongwu. So one more guy, Onyeka Okongwu did move into the starting lineup on Thursday. They brought him off the bench. In Wednesday's game, they started Gorgui Dieng, but then on Thursday, they started Okongwu. They said that on Wednesday, Okongwu would be on a minutes limit, and he was limited. He only played 19 minutes, but then on Thursday, he started, and he played a ton of minutes. I think he played 34 minutes, and he was really, really productive. Even in a tough matchup against Joel Embiid, Okongwu played 34 minutes, had 38 fantasy points. Given that Okongwu played 34 minutes on Thursday, I'm expecting Okongwu to play big minutes once again, assuming Capella remains out. I'm expecting him to start once again. He's really cheap on Yahoo, $14. If you want to play him at center over there, I like him a lot for value. On DraftKings, you can play Okongwu at power forward. He's got power forward and center eligibility. He looks like a really strong value play on this slate, assuming he's still in the starting lineup. Obviously, his value is going to depend on if Capella plays or not, but again, I'm expecting Capella to still be out. So I really like Okongwu. And then I guess if Reddish and Wright are both out, we could look to some of these other Hawks, like Skylar Mays would probably have to play a lot. Lance Stevenson might even get more minutes. Lance Stevenson can be productive when he gets minutes. The rest of these Hawks are going to be dependent on Wright and Reddish. If Wright and Reddish play, there's really no one else I'd be playing on Atlanta. But if Wright and Reddish are out, then I don't know what they're going to do. I'd assume they're going to start Bogdan. They should start Collins and Okongwu like they did. Skylar Mays should start once again, and then maybe Lance Stevenson starts. And if he were to start 3,200, he would be on my radar for value. So there could be a lot to like in this first game, specifically on the Atlanta side. Just with how many guys they have out right now, with so much up in the air, this could be a really shorthanded team come Christmas Day if, all the guys that are out remain out and Reddish and Wright, who are questionable, wind up sitting too. But we'll have to pay attention to that. Again, I'm recording this video Thursday. We're going to have to watch the injury report. Definitely pay attention to that on Friday, and hopefully we'll have an update on these Atlanta guys sometime by Christmas morning. But on the other side of this game with the Knicks are kind of another shorthanded team. They're going to be without Derrick Rose, who's going to be out for a while. RJ Barrett is out of health and safety protocols, but he still did not play Thursday for conditioning. I would think after a day off, no game Friday, I'd assume RJ Barrett's going to be ready to play Christmas Day. So I am expecting RJ Barrett to play, but that still, doesn't change too much from the Knicks. We know where the minutes are going to go. You're going to get heavy minutes for Julius Randle, for Alec Burks. At their price points, I don't think either one of them stand out, but, on a shorter slate, 5 games, they're at least viable. Kemba Walker, though, is the guy that really stands out. So without Derrick Rose, with Emmanuel quickly out, they've been starting Kemba at point guard, and they've been playing Kemba big minutes, and he's been really, really productive. Last 2 games, 43 and 41 DK points. And then on Thursday night, he went absolutely nuts against the Wizards. Had one of the best games I've ever seen. 44 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, 66 fantasy points from Kemba Walker. He played 43 minutes in regulation. They're just running Kemba into the ground right now. He's getting a ton of usage. He's taking a ton of shots every single night. He should continue to be a usage monster. Get a ton of opportunity. The ball's going to be in his hands a ton. He's still really cheap, $14 on Yahoo. I think he's one of the best value plays on the slate. And even at 6,100 on DraftKings, Kemba's got massive upside. He's going to get a ton of usage, a ton of opportunity. He's going to continue to play a ton of minutes while Derrick Rose is out, while Quickly's out. I really like Kemba on the slate, and he's for sure one of my favorite plays from this Knicks team. And then the rest of these guys, Fournier is fine, but I don't love him at 5,500. Mitchell Robinson, Quentin Grimes, Obi Toppin, I'm not really considering these guys. I think it's really just Randall and Burks and Fournier are kind of okay dart throws, but Kemba Walker's the guy that really stands out from the Knicks. He's just been so good lately. He's playing so many minutes. And without, Rose, without Quickly, and, if RJ Barrett remains out too, like, he's just going to continue to get monster minutes. So really, really like Kemba. But that's it for this first game. We can move on to the next one, Boston and Milwaukee. So on Boston, there really isn't much to like on Boston here. They're somewhat fully healthy. Al Horford could be back for this game. He's been out for COVID protocols. He's been out for like a week now. There's a chance he could maybe return. If he doesn't, I still don't think that really changes too much, just because like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they're priced at their kind of like ceilings. Not saying they can't go out there and put up 55, 60 DK points, but given where Tatum's priced at 10,400, given where Jaylen Brown's priced at 9,400, I think both these guys are just secondary options on the slate. They should be low owned. Fine low owned plays, but that's really it. Robert Williams, if Al Horford's out, I think Robert Williams at 5,800 is fine. He did have a massive game against Cleveland last game, 53 DK points in 34 minutes. We know Robert Williams does offer a lot of upside. He's been kind of he's not been great this year. His upside, we haven't seen that massive upside from Williams, but he at least did show it last game. Again, he'd be more of like a GPP dart throw. Pretty much everyone on Boston would for the most part, but that's probably it from the Celtics. Right now, there's not too much that stands out here. We're going to have to watch for COVID protocols, because it wouldn't be surprising if some guys randomly get rolled out that we don't expect. But as of now, if everyone plays, like even if Horford's out, like I just really don't like much from Boston. Now in Milwaukee, Giannis and Bobby Portis have been out for a few games with COVID protocols, and again, we don't know if they're going to play for Christmas Day. We don't know if they're going to be able to return. If they're out, we kind of know where to go. Like Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, these have been the guys that have really been benefiting without Giannis and without Bobby Portis. Drew's just been playing a ton of minutes, getting a ton of usage, a ton of opportunity. His price at 9,300 is like where it should be, but I still think Drew offers a lot of upside. I think the same could be said for Middleton at 8,300, assuming that Giannis and Portis are out. But if you look at Yahoo's pricing, I think these guys look pretty good on Yahoo. Drew's only $38. I like him a good amount there. Middleton's only $28, and it's he's at small forward, which is always a tougher position to fill on Yahoo. So I really like Middleton on Yahoo at $28, getting a pretty nice discount off of Drew. Again, a small forward, so that's a position that's really it's hard to find good small forward options on Yahoo. I definitely like Middleton there. We should expect him and Drew to continue to get a lot of opportunity without Giannis and without Portis, assuming those guys are out. And then I do want to talk about DeMarcus Cousins. So DeMarcus Cousins has been starting at center in place of Bobby Portis, and he's been playing pretty solid minutes, 27 minutes, 28 minutes, and then he got good minutes once again on Thursday against Dallas. Played 27 minutes or 28 minutes, had 42 fantasy points. You look at his game log, last 3 games, 41, 33, 42 fantasy points. We know Boogie is a really productive point-per-minute player, and he should continue to get the minutes, should continue to get the opportunity while Bobby Portis and Giannis are both out, and he's still cheap. So I think DeMarcus Cousins looks like one of the better center plays on the slate. Him and Okongwu, I think, are really, really good options. Boogie at 4,900 is a really strong value on DraftKings. I like him quite a bit. And that's probably it from Milwaukee. Jordan Nwora started once again. I'm not sure what he did. Yeah, so he played 27 minutes, had 23 fantasy points. If Jordan Nwora continues to start, he's an okay value play. I don't think he really stands out on this slate, but he's at least viable. But if Giannis and Bobby Portis are still out, Drew, Middleton, and DeMarcus Cousins are the guys that I like the most from this Bucks team. But I think we can move on to the next game, talk about the Warriors and the Suns. So on the Warriors, Steph and Draymond would be the 2 guys I'd be considering from Golden State. They don't look like great plays. It's a shorter slate. It's only 5 games. Obviously, you could play Steph and Draymond. I think this is a game that, the Warriors will get up for. They will try to play well, and they want to win this game. We've seen these teams play twice already. Steph has not been great against the Warriors. Against the Suns. He has really struggled against the Suns this year. I think Steph's going to be really low owned. So anytime you can get Steph at really low ownership, it's always appealing. But he's not like a priority for me. Same with Draymond at 7,300. I think if I had to choose between one of Steph or Draymond, I probably would take Draymond. So far this year against Phoenix, Draymond's actually been pretty solid. 40 DK points through 2 games. 28 DK points, really struggled in the first outing. But then when they played Phoenix again, he had 51 DK points. We know Draymond can put up those type of games where he gets 9, 10 points, 9, 10 rebounds, 8, 9, 10 assists. Can get a lot of defensive stats. Draymond's got triple-double upside. At 7,300, a decent tournament play on this slate. And then value-wise, if we're looking for cheap plays, so Otto Porter and Gary Payton started on Thursday. I'll be interested to see what the starting lineup is for Golden State once again, if those guys are in there. I don't know what Otto Porter did. Let me see what he did. So he played 30 minutes and had 35 fantasy points. So, Otto Porter has been a productive player this year when he's gotten minutes. Assuming that Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins are still out for this Christmas Day game. I'd expect Otto Porter starts again, and at 3,900, he looks like a really, really good value play if you're looking for a cheap small forward or power forward. And then Gary Payton also started. Gary Payton I don't think did as much, if I remember correctly. Or he played pretty well too. He played 33 minutes, had 28 fantasy points. So both Gary Payton and Otto Porter played pretty well in the starting lineup on Thursday. If those guys are starting again, Payton's only 4,300, Porter's only 3,900. They would both be viable cheap plays, and honestly, they would probably be my two favorite plays from Golden State if I had to go to anyone here. Obviously, though, their value is dependent on if Wiggins, Poole, Lee, Iguodala, these guys that have been out, like if they're out again. It looks like Iguodala sat out for injury, so I think he'll be back for Christmas Day. That shouldn't have too much of an impact. Really, we want Wiggins and Poole to be out before we can consider Porter and Payton. Now, on the Phoenix side, Phoenix, I think, is probably the easiest team to fade on this slate just because they're pretty much fully healthy right now. And also the pricing on Phoenix, like there's nobody that really stands out at their price point. Devin Booker's 8,700, Chris Paul's 8,400, DeAndre Ayton's 8,100. The matchup against Golden State is not great. Golden State, they play at a fast pace. Both these teams play at a really fast pace. So far this year, Phoenix, they're second in pace. The Warriors are 10th in pace. But defensively, like both these teams are really good defensive teams. So far when these teams have played this year, it's really not been like super high scoring games. So I don't think like any Phoenix guy stands out. I think if you're looking for like GPP plays here, you want to get some guys at low ownership, then sure, you could play Devin Booker or DeAndre Ayton or Chris Paul. But I don't like really that much from Phoenix. I think they're probably one of the least appealing teams on this slate. Next game though, Brooklyn and the Lakers. So Brooklyn, kind of like Atlanta, is another just really, really shorthanded team. We really have no idea right now who's going to play for Brooklyn. Right now, we know Kyrie Irving. At least Kyrie Irving should be out. Edwards, Thomas, Duke, Joe Harris. These guys should be out. But there's a chance that maybe Kevin Durant returns from health and safety protocols. Maybe LaMarcus Aldridge. Maybe Blake Griffin. Right now, we have no idea. They did have to postpone their game on Thursday because they didn't have enough available players. So somebody's going to have to play. Like some of these guys that are questionable are going to have to play, or the game's like not going to play. Right now, it looks like Brooklyn, assuming all these questionable guys are out and assuming all these guys that are out are still out, they have Harden, Patty Mills, James Ennis, Shaq Harrison, Langston Galloway, and Javon Carter. That 6 players. Paul Millsap would make 7. So they have 7 players. Somebody's going to have to play that's questionable, whether it's Griffin or Aldridge or Claxton or Brown. All these guys are in health and safety protocols. It looks like Blake Griffin I didn't think Blake Griffin was in health and safety protocols, so he has a knee injury. So Blake Griffin's actually dealing with a knee injury. I'd assume he probably plays, but like KD's in protocols. LaMarcus Aldridge is in protocols. I think Nicholas Claxton, so he's out with a wrist injury. I know Bruce Brown's been in health and safety protocols. So yeah, really, really tough situation to kind of gauge right now just because we have no idea who's going to be playing for Brooklyn. I think the easiest way to break this down is that if KD plays, KD and Harden should dominate the usage like they always do. I don't know if either one would be priorities just because when they're both playing, it's always hard to gauge like where the usage is going to go, who's going to have the big game between the two. I think both would be viable tournament plays. It is a really good matchup against the Lakers. The Lakers have been bad defensively this year, and they've been playing really, really fast. But I think, if I would want to be loading up on Brooklyn if KD's out. If KD's out, which I think is probably likely, I don't think KD's going to be back for this game. James Harden for sure is going to look like one of the best pay-up options on this slate. And assuming that KD does remain out, love James Harden at $10,700 on Draftkings, and on Yahoo, I think Harden looks great over there at $48. He's by far my favorite spend on this slate, assuming that KD does not play. We've seen what Harden can do, when he gets the minutes, when he gets the usage. Obviously, without KD, the usage and the upside, the role for Harden would just be massive. The matchup's fantastic. The Lakers are terrible. They're a bad defensive team. They play fast. If KD's out, I think Harden's just a lock and load. He would by far be one of my favorite plays on this slate. Again, if KD plays, I think Harden would still be viable just because, at 10-7, that's still pretty cheap for Harden. He just wouldn't be as much of a priority if KD's in there. And then the rest of these guys like Patty Mills, now that Harden's back, it's tough to really go to Patty Mills. Aldridge at his price point I don't love. Blake Griffin at his price point I don't love. Really, a lot of these Brooklyn guys are tough to play now with Harden back just because Harden's going to take up so much usage. He's going to take away from all these guys who have really been benefiting without Harden and without KD. I think as long as KD's out, Harden's the guy that I really want to roster from Brooklyn. And then we'll have to wait and see, who else is available. Again, if you guys want my full updated core plays, I will post those Christmas Day morning, what I'm playing for this slate. But as of now, Harden's the priority if KD's out. The rest of these Brooklyn guys are just kind of secondary options at their price points. But yeah, it's a tough situation, man. We'll have to see like what's really going to go on with Brooklyn, who's actually going to be able to play. But then on the Lakers side, we know AD is going to be out. Kent Bazemore, Malik Monk's still out too, but AD being out is kind of the big one. With AD out, I mean, we know LeBron's just going to get a massive workload, going to get massive usage. He's been playing a ton of minutes this year, 35, 36 minutes a night. Some games you'll see LeBron play 38, 40 minutes. I mean, he's been great without AD. He has shown a lot of upside this year. I think LeBron is a really strong spin-up option as well. I will say that if KD winds up playing, I think I would probably play LeBron over Harden in that scenario. I don't think Harden would look as appealing if KD's in. But obviously, if KD's out, I think Harden's the best pay-up option. But LeBron's probably second. LeBron looks like a great spin-up here. He's just been so good. Had another big game Thursday night against San Antonio, 34 minutes in a blowout. Still scored 61 fantasy points. He's just been so good. He's playing a ton of minutes. I really like LeBron. I'm not as interested in Westbrook, though. Westbrook just hasn't been as good this year, hasn't shown as much upside. The rest of the Lakers, THT, Carmelo, Dwight, I don't really like these guys that much. Dwight did start on Thursday, but I don't think he really did much. Yeah, he only played 21 minutes, had 23 fantasy points. Even if Dwight starts again, probably wouldn't be going to him on this slate, especially when you have Boogie, you have Okongwu, who I just like a lot more. So really from the Lakers, I think it's LeBron, and that's it. I don't see too much else I like on the Lakers. But then the last game of the night, Dallas and Utah. So I will say this is probably one of the least appealing games just in terms of, fantasy appeal. The only reason that I think it does get kind of interesting is just because Dallas is so shorthanded right now. They're another team that's just missing a ton of guys. You can already see, Luka's out for protocols, THJ, Maxi Kleber, Trey Burke, Reggie Bullock, and then Porzingis has been out with an injury. He did not play on Thursday. I would think Porzingis should be ready to go by Saturday. We'll have to wait and see, though, if he's able to go. If Porzingis returns, that's going to take away from guys like DFS and Sterling Brown. I think Jalen Brunson would still be solid, though. Jalen Brunson's just been so good, playing a ton of minutes. He's had a really heavy role lately. He should continue to have a heavy role with Luka out. The matchup on the road against the Jazz is not ideal, but I think Brunson does offer a lot of upside, and the minutes are for sure going to be there. So he is still in play for me. I would definitely like him more, though, if Porzingis does get ruled out. DFS, Sterling Brown, they're okay. They don't really stand out, though, on this slate. The bigs, I'm probably not going to go to Dwight Powell or any of the bigs. A matchup against Rudy Gobert is just not ideal. I think these guys are going to have to be out there. They're going to have to play Dwight Powell big minutes, or they're going to have to play Boban or somebody, because you can't really go small against the Jazz. It just doesn't work against Gobert. So I want to say that Dwight Powell probably plays big minutes if Porzingis is out. But again, on this slate, I don't think Dwight Powell's really going to stand out when you have Okongwu, when you have Boogie, just other guys that look better as value options. On Dallas, Jalen Brunson's the guy that I really like, and that's probably it from the Mavs. Now, on the Utah side, it's hard to get excited about really anyone on Utah. They're another team that's fully healthy right now. They've got everyone available, at least, as of Thursday night. We'll have to wait and see if, what COVID protocols do for this team. But so far, the Jazz have not been impacted by COVID protocols. Everyone's available to play. I don't think there's really a ton that stands out from Utah. When they're fully healthy, it's a tough team to get excited about rostering. And with so many other shorthanded teams on this slate, you're just going to want to be rostering the guys on the shorthanded teams, because there's obviously underpriced players on those teams. There's a lot of underpriced players on Atlanta, a lot of underpriced players on Brooklyn. Specifically, Harden would look really good. The Knicks are shorthanded too. I think, you can roster Donovan Mitchell in tournaments. You can roster Rudy Gobert in tournaments, but that's probably it from Utah. I'm not that excited about any Jazz. And honestly, if I was playing one lineup on this slate, I don't think I'd have any Jazz in my one lineup. So yeah, that's it for the Christmas Day slate, guys. Again, it's really tough, man. I'm recording this video Thursday night. I tried to give you guys my best kind of first looks at the slate. We still have just so much up in the air right now. So many guys are out right now, but could maybe be back by Saturday. We just have no idea. A lot of these star players that are in COVID protocols could maybe come back Saturday. We just don't really know. It's going to be a crazy slate. Again, you're going to have to pay attention to the injury report, pay attention to, who's available to play. Make sure you're watching news Friday. Make sure you're watching news Christmas Day. But it should be a fun slate regardless. A lot of good games still. Even though a lot of the star players may not be playing on Christmas Day, we still have some really good games. Should be a fun, slate to sweat, because you have one game after the other. I'm excited for this one, guys. I hope you did enjoy the video, though. Again, I appreciate you watching. If you did enjoy, please do hit the like button down below. As always, guys, I appreciate the likes. Hit the subscribe button as well. And go check out PrizePicks if you have not yet. Sign up for PrizePicks. Use code NOAH when you sign up over there, and they will match your first deposit. PrizePicks will give you a free bet up to $100 when you sign up with my code. And again, they're offering a promo for Christmas Eve and on Christmas Day for the NBA games. I can't announce it just yet, but if you pay attention to Prize Picks, if you look at their board on Christmas Eve and on Christmas Day, you'll see some of the cool promos they're running, basically giving away some free picks, giving you a massive discount on certain players. You can go sign up. If you have not yet, take advantage of these promos. Go sign up. Use code NOAH when you do, and they will match your first deposit up to $100. But that's it, guys. 5 games up, 5 games down. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I wish you guys a very Merry Christmas. Hope you enjoy the day with family. Happy holidays. We'll be back Monday, most likely. Obviously, Christmas is on Saturday. I don't really upload on the weekend, so I won't be here Sunday. I won't see you guys on Sunday, but I'll be back Monday, and we'll see you guys then. I hope you guys enjoy the holidays, enjoy the Christmas with your family. Let's watch some NBA games, have a little fun, maybe eat some good food, open some presents, just enjoy the day. But I wish you guys the best of luck, and we will see you back on Monday. See you guys. Good luck. Peace.